giant shaking itself begins to stir, even though it never really sleeps. 10 million live and work around here. Actress Jane Fonda used to be one of them.
Well, New York has changed a lot since I lived here. I lived in New York up until 10 years ago, and this is the first time I've been back for any length of time, and I find it very changed.
I think anyone who comes here for the first time is initially appalled.
Actor Donald Sutherland has never lived in the city.
Dark, the air is impossible to breathe. There are too many people, and it's compressed too tightly. And I was awestruck by the areas of degradation and alienation and squalor. And afterwards, you start to see all the marvelous microcosms that are within the city.
New York is a city where one can get a more intense view of our society than any place in the world.
Alan Pakula looks at the town through the eyes of a movie director. So this morning he leaves for work like a lot of New Yorkers. Today he'll go to Harlem. Donald Sutherland rides uptown. He'll join Alan Pakula to begin a new motion picture called Klute. Jane Fonda is also on the road to Harlem. She's returned to the city to join the cast.
After you've been in New York for a month, you become tense and nervous and alienated, and consequently you don't notice it so much in other people. I mean, it's been very difficult for me to relax here.
8 o'clock, and Harlem is on the streets. In its 4 square miles, there are 1 million people. On 127th Street, Alan Pakula's crew has checked in at a film studio, the base of operations for the production. This morning, they're moving all the equipment to a street of run-down brownstones in East Harlem. Director Pakula, Donald Sutherland, and Jane Fonda arrive and start work on the first scene. They get down to the business of shooting a story about a specific subculture in a city like New York. Sutherland explains his role among the people in this subworld.
The character that I play comes from Pennsylvania. He's a small-town policeman, and he comes to New York looking for his best friend. My friend has been missing for a year. The only well of information that I have is Bree Daniels, who is played by Jane Fonda.
Bree is a girl from a middle-class family who's had at least a couple of years of college, is relatively realistic. It's a very subtle thing. It's a very interesting thing.
In the movie, she helps to pick up the trail of the missing man. They've backtracked over all the places he's been known to have touched and all the people who may have touched him. A tip has led them here.
Kathy?
Oh, this is Bree.
Kathy, is that you?
It's all right.
Bree, honey, I'm waiting for someone.
You've got to help us. We've got to ask you some questions.
It's very important.
Well, please go on and get them out of here.
I'm begging you.
It's very important, please. Give me a description of him, anything at all.
Kathy? Kathy, don't flip.
Kathy! Kathy, go run, Kathy! Kathy, go run!
The world Bree Daniels knows best is a side of New York seldom seen in broad daylight. So one afternoon, the movie company answers a call for a sequence to be filmed in an abandoned West Side church. The trail has led to this discotheque. Bree seeks a girl who has had some contact with a missing friend. One, they're told, hangs out in this after-hours place.
What?
Hi, Bree.
The new lead in the case is played by actress Rita Gam.
How are you?
Oh, great. How are you?
This is John Klute. How do you do, Mr. Klute? Bridget. Bree, Mr. Klute. Trina, he just wants to find Arlen Page.
Why?
Do you know anybody that's seen her at all?
As far as I'm concerned, she's dead.
Alan Pakula's cameraman on this movie is Gordon Willis.
I started the film saying to Gordy, we're doing a film about people in a closed-in, locked-in world. In most cases, he had as much of an idea of what I planned to do with this story in the film as I did. Within that, we both improvised. Very often I'd say, I'd like to do this. He'd say, I know what you're reaching for, but I think we can do it in a different way.
The The style of Alan Pakula's directing draws a reaction from Jane Fonda.
I am an actress who needs direction. I make many mistakes, and I do need a director. Alan has, in some ways, more than any other director I've ever worked with, given me confidence in my instincts. And that's a very important thing.
Just be brought up like, just sitting here beside me, like that.
Okay. Is he going to be there?
I'll get him. Roy Scheider.
Oh, is this my mark?
Another day, another location, another side of New York. The company moves to Fifth Avenue, just outside Central Park. A pattern for mounting the production has evolved.
We have never, since the beginning of the movie, come onto a set which has been lit and told where we go. We come on, we discuss it, we rehearse, we change, we improvise, and then the crew comes on and lights it and sets it up.
When we do a scene here in this film, Jane and Alan and Gordy Willis and I do it. I say this is possible for me, and this is not possible. We make balances and adjustments. Finally, of course, it is Alan's picture.
The scene they're shooting is a climactic moment in the story. The two have searched the respectable and unrespectable sides of New York, but failed to turn up the missing man. Their relationship begins to strain, and the meeting in the park is touched with frustration.
Well, she's dead.
Hey. Your tapes.
Tell me, Klute. Did we get you a little? Huh? Just a little bit? Us city folk? The sin, the glitter, the wickedness? Huh?
Oh, that's so pathetic.
Director Alan Pakula perhaps sums up best how New York is dictating the shape of the script and the movie.
New York really functioned for us in many ways. I think if we had shot it within the confines and protections of a film studio, protected from all the inconveniences, all of the street pain you see, and all of the discomfort and the agonies, the picture might have had less intensity and less immediacy, certainly for all of us concerned in making it.
It's a tough city. It's a tough movie. It's Klute.